Okay, good evening. I'm going to wait another 5 minutes and I'm going to put this up here. This kind of disturbed me. I haven't been up here for a long time. I'm still trying to get together, but this bothered me. This really, really bothered me. Um, I've never really heard it to happen here, and in New Jersey, but I'm sure it does. I've never been around stuff like this because I went to Catholic school and we had very small classes and they were very selective of the children that they took into the school. So there wasn't that they could they could refuse to take a certain element of kids in school, but I guess when you're a public school, you have to take uh, they have to take you know whatever's put because it is a public school. But I don't know what started the altercation with the teacher, but I do, I've heard her side of the story, and when you listen to it, um, you will hear her refer to Governor Greg Abbott and what needs to be done. I guess this student was, I don't know. I guess he was like overly, what they call overly big. You know, sometimes they say the students are aggressive, but they really aren't. But I believe to cause that much damage, and you listen to her as she tells, "Oh, hey, I'm surprised to see you here, but yeah, I was talking about this. This happened in Texas. This kid beat up the teacher. Well, he didn't beat her. He threw stuff at her, and he threw a wooden coat hanger. And from what I'm assuming, the metal hanger on a wood, the metal hook on the of the hanger hooked her in her eye, and it knocked her eyeball out of the socket. They had to place it back in. Yeah, but and they had to place it back in. She's blinded in that eye, and the damage is permanent. And she's going back for another operation to see whether they're going to take the eye completely out. And she is blaming, not blaming, but she's saying that Governor Abbott and you know, whoever it is in Texas needs to they need to do something with these overly aggressive kids. Now, here in New Jersey, they do beat the teachers up, but I've never heard of anybody actually attacking the teacher here and they lose their eyesight or whatever. But she may lose the eye completely. I can't imagine how she's that they say her eye was out of the socket. So I don't know how that's going to work. Teachers, I mean, they don't pay teachers enough. In my estimation, they couldn't pay me to do that because that is crazy. But I'm gonna just make this short because I still am in the process. Hey, Donnie, how you doing? I'm still in the process of trying to move. You know, trying to get myself together. I'll be out of here next week. But this bothered me. It's really, really bothered me because, like, all of this stuff, this aggressiveness and this fighting in school, if you see anything that's blocking you, it says I have a virus, but I'm not touching it because I don't know what to do. It keeps leaving, it comes and goes. So if any of you guys see that, I'll figure out what to do with it later. But right now, I can't do nothing with it because I don't have no money. But anyway, she's I just can't imagine this. Maybe because I went to Catholic school and there was only 18 of us in class. And I remember one year we had 22, and the nun got very upset. She told the principal that was too many kids for one person to take care of 22. So anyway, I'm going to play this. Let this play. I hope I get this thing right now because I'm always getting it wrong. I haven't been up here. I'm going to play it and listen to it, and then y'all can say what you want to say. It's going to be short, I guess. Let me see. Here we go.
Good morning.
I hope y'all can
I'd like to
hear
thank you all
this.
for being here. Thank you to Corsicana ISD for allowing me to use this space. Please understand that what I'm going to say today are my words. This is not coming from Corsicana ISD. First, thank you all from the depths of my heart for all of your prayers. They have given me and my family strength during these very difficult and trying times. Thank you for all the meals, the cards, the ways you have assisted us financially, and everything else you've done. And I'm so very, very grateful. I will be reading a short statement, but I will not be taking any questions. On Thursday, August 15th, during lunch, I heard our behavioral teacher call on the radio to administrators for assistance. When I arrived, the teacher and students were outside the classroom. One student was holding his head, having been assaulted by the student remaining in the classroom. I entered where the student was still irate and found the room ransacked with overturned furniture. I knew I had to be as calm as possible, and I spoke lowly and slowly so as not to enrage him any further. He picked up a chair and acted as if he would throw it. He finally did throw it at me, but I caught it midair. He picked up another chair to throw at me when another assistant principal entered the room. I used the first chair to block the second. He picked up a third and threw it at the other assistant principal, and I used that initial chair to block the one that he threw at her. After blocking the chair thrown at the other assistant principal, he threw a wooden hanger at me, but I couldn't stop it fast enough. The hanger hit me in my right eye and knocked it out of the socket. I grabbed my face while blood was pouring out of my head and stumbled out of the classroom door. The nurse and 911 were called. I asked for my cell phone to call my husband to come get me, not realizing the extent of the damage. When paramedics arrived, they determined I would need to be airlifted to Parkland Medical Center in Dallas. I underwent surgery as soon as possible, and doctors were able to reinsert my eye. However, they determined I had been blinded and currently believe that my damage is permanent. I will have to have an additional surgery to repair my eyelid because doctors are believing, I'm so sorry. I underwent surgery as soon as possible, and doctors were able to reinsert my eye. However, they determined that I've been blinded, and they currently believe that my damage is permanent. I will have to have an additional surgery to repair my eyelid. And because doctors are believing my blindness to be permanent, removing my eye may have to be an option. I'm still believing God for a miracle for restoration of my sight. My teaching career began here in Corsicana. This tragedy affected not just my husband, my children, my grandchild, my family, and my friends, but it has also negatively affected my school, my district, and my community. Because of the numerous districts in which my husband and I have worked and the thousands of students I've taught, the impact of my injury, it's far-reaching. Chapter 37 of our Texas Education Code, which was originally created in 1995 to help protect our marginalized students with regard to how students are disciplined, may need to be reevaluated so that no paraprofessional, no teacher, or principal, simply put, no educator should ever be put in this situation. I fully understand education laws and the need for students to be educated with their peers. Chapter 37 may need to incorporate changes to address the mental, social, and emotional well-being of these students. As educators, we care about our students and their safety. but we must also care about the safety of our educational staff. Our safety is important too. We should never have to fear being in a classroom with an aggressive student. Everyone's protection is paramount. Overly aggressive students need services to meet their needs, but I do not believe the safety of other students and the educational staff should suffer. Lastly, Governor Greg Abbott holds some accountability in the safety of our students and our staff. For years, our schools have suffered unfunded mandates, which have included pay raises. Our basic allotment, which funds our day-to-day expenses, have not increased since 2019, even though we have had rising costs on absolutely everything, including new unfunded mandates. This is 2024. I'd like to quote a friend who gave me permission to use their words. Quote, "If our students don't have what they need to be successful in Texas, this is not simply problematic. I hold that it is immoral. Texas has the 9th largest economy in the world, not the country, the world. Texas has over a $32 billion budget surplus, yet we spend the 8th least in terms of allotment per student in the US. Regardless of what you believe this says about our priorities as a state, this is a choice, and choices have consequences. Article 7, Section 1 of the Texas Constitution states a general diffusion of knowledge being essential to the preservation of the liberties and rights of the people. It shall be the duty of the legislature of the state to establish and make suitable provision for the support and maintenance of an efficient system of public free schools. I would argue that for Texas public schools in 2024 to be funded at 2019 levels is unsuitable provision, to say the least. To that end, I believe the state legislature bears some degree of culpability when our schools, our public schools, struggle due to improper funding. Article 7, Section 3A of the Texas Constitution states, 1/4 of the revenue derived from the state occupation taxes shall be set apart annually for the benefit of the public free schools. Without delving too deeply into the proverbial weeds, allow me to simply remind you of an earlier point. The state of Texas has a $32 billion surplus. I'm not a mathematician, but to have that abysmal level of spending in a booming state economy with a $32 billion surplus simply does not add up. Simply stated, Texas is vastly underfunded. According to a study conducted by the Kinder Institute, 73% of our Texas public school districts are underfunded. When schools are underfunded, all stakeholders suffer. It is important to point out that the decision to continue funding Texas public schools at 2019 levels in 2024 is a choice, and the collateral damage of Governor Abbott's choices include, but are not limited to, academic struggles, student discipline struggles, teacher retention challenges, stifled program advancements, loss of student enrichment programs, lessening of needed student supports, erosion of parent and external stakeholder trust, decreased student engagement, end quote. To date, Governor Abbott has failed to release these funds because his political priority is school choice. And it seems he prefers to perpetuate a system of the haves and have-nots. People fail to realize that public schools are required to accept any student, regardless of abilities. Private schools are not and do not. Public schools are required to have certified teachers. Private schools are not. Public schools are required to undergo state mandated testing. Private schools are not. These are just a few of the inequities. By further decreasing funds from public schools, which are already grossly underfunded, as though those of us in education already know, to give to those who can already afford to send their children to private schools is simply wrong. It's wrong to have so many mandates that make educating our public school children more difficult. It's wrong to take money from grossly underfunded schools. I've been in education for 30 years, and I am a proud product of public schools. I believe in public school education, but what happened to me should never happen to another educator. Mr. Abbott, release the funds because you are also culpable for what happened to me. Thank you for your time.
Um, wow, that was deep because I didn't hear the whole thing, but wow. And she's so right that public schools have to take all of the bad things that happen, because in Catholic school, we didn't, all of my classmates, myself and all of our classmates, we were what they called educatable then. So as deep, so he's trying to dismantle the public school system, and man, that's crazy, 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 crazy. I didn't, man, I didn't. I don't know what to say about this. I really don't, because don't. Oh my goodness. Uh, Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. But man, I've never seen. I I don't know. I don't know. But wooden hanger knocks her eye out of the socket. That's brutal. That's real brutal. And Greg Abbott is holding back on that. As she said, he's holding back on funding the school system. These Republicans, they gotta go. They got to go, because ain't no telling what we're gonna be going through if this this is crazy. This is real crazy. So I don't know what everybody's thinking, but that's it. That's it. He must have. I would love to see a picture of this kid, because she said he's 15 years old. I think I heard him say that he was 15 years old, but he must be mighty big to the 15-year-old, because she said her eye came out the socket when he hit her. I don't know if the hook on the hanger hooked her in the eye or what, but she said her eye was knocked out of the socket with the hanger. And I'm like, Lord, that is crazy. I tell you, here in Jersey, they do, now they have beat up teachers and stuff. And one girl teacher, a guy tried to tried to jump her, and she forgot because she said she had brothers, so she knew how to fight them. And she fought the boy, and she cried because she had just got out of college, and that was her first teaching job. But she beat him down. She wouldn't let him beat her up. So I don't know if you want to leave a message up there about what you think. I think this part of Greg Abbott is he's trying to force private school education, and the beginning of the dismantling of the public school system, because they're under the impression that Donald Trump is going to win. And I was reading some things where they've done a bunch of nasty stuff to get to try to get people to read it. But that's what I had to do. If anybody want to leave a comment up there, leave it, because I'm gonna let this stand for like another 14 minutes, and then I'm gonna go because I'm packing, but I'm still packing. But I was like, gee, I mean, it's the second week of school in Texas because they started back, and I'm like, kids don't want to go to school. They cutting up already. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I would love to see what this boy looked like. He must be an Amazon or something, you know. But anyway, I hope I hope her sight comes back, but I don't know anything about stuff like that. I don't think her eyesight's gonna come back. I just hope she don't lose. I hope they don't have to take the eye out. That is I don't know what else to say. If you want to write something, just leave it up there. But I decided to do that to make it short because I haven't been up here in a while. And I got something for the end of September because I haven't had a chance to look it up. I may even change that and redo it, put something else there. But anyway, Greg Abbott, these Republicans they're off the chain. They are. They are so out of it here. And she said they haven't got a raise since 2019 or something. It's been 5 years. He has the money but won't release it for the schools. So it it just and everybody's moving to Texas. Everybody's moving to Texas because they got big, nice houses there and stuff. But I don't think I could live there. It's just like when I lived in Georgia, I couldn't. I couldn't get used to it. I tried to get a job there, but them people don't know how to talk to nobody. They got you sweeping the floor, cleaning the bathroom, waiting on the people, stocking the shelves, and all for minimum wage. I ain't with it. I was used to making money, and when I worked overtime, I was used to making real money because I worked for the state. But anyway, I'm glad you two guys came up. I'm gonna go, but I just had to put that out there. I really did. So, because that thing bothered me. I want to know what kind of force he hit her with that it could knock her eye out the socket. I just think the hook part might have hooked her in the eye and pulled it out, got stuck in the eye, and, and it fell out and pulled the eye out. Because I don't think no 15-year-old kid is that damn strong. But anyway, I'm gonna I'm gonna end this tonight because I ain't gonna keep it too long because I got a lot to do and I'm so lazy. And it was hot as heck here today. It was like 92, 93 with the high humidity. I thought all of this was over because it's the end of August, but yeah, we still getting some of them hot days. So good night. to you, Vic and Donnie. I can always count on you, Donnie. I know you're gonna come sooner or later. So take care. I'll do another quick one again. I might put this same thing. I might put it as a short also, because that's crazy. And Vic, I know you're gonna look it up, but look it up. Don't you think that that what she said about Abbott, Greg Abbott, having the money, the surplus of the money to fund the schools, but he's not doing it because he wants private school choices and things. So I think it is an implementation of Projects 2025 dismantling of the public school system, and he's trying to do it in Texas. And that little twerp, he in that wheelchair. Oh, excuse me, he in that wheelchair. He he makes me want to do. I used to watch Little House on the Prairie all the time when my son was younger. We used to watch Little House on the Prairie, and Nellie used to be the little bully girl, and Laura. She had Laura thinking that she was she had Laura thinking that she was paralyzed and made Laura do things, and Laura saw her walking, but she didn't tell her, and she took her by a river, by a hill, by a river, and pushed the wheelchair down into the water to get back at her. That's what I feel like going there. If I thought I could get away with it, I'd find Abbott and find the hill and a river and push his ass down in the water, but can't do it. So that's wishful thinking. Good night. Have a good night. I'll be seeing you all again. I don't know if I will. Bye-bye. I don't know.